Hey guys, guess what? I finally finished the entire campaign for Arcane Odyssey. You know what that means? It's lore breakdown time. There is a ridiculous amount of things to cover and theories I wanted to make, so I'm just going to get to the point of the video right away. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, all those funny things. Anyways, let's jump into the lore of Arcane Odyssey. Oh yeah, and huge spoiler warning for everything, of course. I am talking about every single part of this game. Instead of starting where the game does, I would first like to discuss the main antagonists. Trust me, this will make things much easier to explain as we go along. The main antagonists of Arcane Odyssey are known as the Order of Aesir. They are a cult-like group that wants to seek out and control all of the sea curses. It is unknown how old they are, but they are old enough to where they have control over the kingdoms of the War Seas, and their leaders are people in high positions of at least Ravenna's government, making them the Arcane Odyssey equivalent of the Illuminati. Kinda. In addition to seeking out the sea curses, the Order is also capturing people with high amounts or strange amounts of magical power and experimenting on them. We don't know what those experiments were or what they were for, but we do know that the player is one of those experimented on, along with a companion of theirs named Morden, and that is where our story begins. So the player wakes up on Awakening Island, seemingly having lost their memory. They talk to Morden, who directs them to Redwake before he says he's going to try and do something, but we don't really know what just yet. After this, the player sets off on their adventure, and whether they decide to be a renowned hero or a scheming villain, it's up to them. After arriving in Frostmill, the player meets, fights, and defeats Iris, who is attacking the city of Frostmill in revenge for Ravenna capturing her father. It's a good thing to note that a lot of the islands here are controlled by Ravenna, or at least are supportive of the Ravenna government, which is why she went here, because it's a Ravenna protectorate state, I guess, kind of thing. Yeah. The player does make amends with Iris, and they plan to meet again at Surus Island. Like she promised, the player meets her again at Surus Island, along with the characters of Ren and Navarro. They aren't super important right now, but they will be soon. Iris hears rumors of a strange hooded group dragging a bleeding man with a sword in his chest away, which the player tells Ren about and then proceeds to investigate. The group is revealed to be none other than the Order themselves, and the bleeding man was named Berenger. They captured him because he was in possession of the Cloud Curse, and more importantly, he knew the location of the most powerful curses of them all, the Death Curse. The player goes off to try and find Berenger at Ravenna's fortress, Fort Talos, and in the process, they meet Morden again at the Sailor's Lodge. He's also investigating Fort Talos and tags along during the exploration. He eventually finds Berenger first, who tells Morden the location of the ultra-powerful Death Curse. Morden leaves to find it, while the player meets Ren again, and defeats a high member of the Order of Aesir, General Argos. And then, they bring down the entirety of Fort Talos. From here, the player goes out to investigate the Order's strange deep connections to Ravenna's government by heading to Ravenna. Here, they not only uncover the hidden, poor, and neglected underbelly of the kingdom, but are also discovered for their destruction of Fort Talos and their killing of General Argos. They try to continue their investigation in secret, a wanted fugitive of Ravenna, but are defeated by a user of the Glass Curse, General Julian. The player is forced into the mines, where after talking to the other prisoners, they figure out the true identity of a High Lord in the Order, none other than King Calvus himself. After spending 1 month locked away in the mines, the player eventually is freed by their friends, Iris, Morden, their ship's designated captain, and Navarro. The group makes their way to the throne room, but are attacked by both Bronze Legion soldiers and General Julian again. The player's friends stay behind to battle them, while Navarro and the player confront King Calvus. King Calvus reveals that Navarro is the last prince of Wintervale, a kingdom which Ravenna seemingly destroyed in the past. The king then knocks Navarro out and does battle with the player. Once defeated, in his dying breath, he tells the player the reason why they and Morden were captured, something to do with their bloodlines, releasing some sort of power that's been locked away for centuries. Regardless, after the king's death, the player and their friends are forced to flee Ravenna and take refuge on Windrow Island, where the player meets Ren again, revealing his name to be Warren. Warren tells the player that they are ready to undergo what is called an awakening, but first they must do some meditation. Once the player finishes their meditation quest, they hear a strange voice from the heavens telling them to go to Mount Othris to receive a full awakening. Once there, the player locates a temple where they communicate with the spirit of Poseidon, who awakens the power inside them. After the awakening, the player returns to their friends, where Navarro goes off to try and help the fractured kingdom of Ravenna, and Warren goes off to learn more about the Order. The player, Morden, and Iris prepare for their journey to the Nimbus Sea, where they will try to stop an impending war. And that is where our story leaves off for now. Now that I finished the recap, I want to present some theories that I have regarding the story and where it may go. Firstly, I've been thinking about why in the world the sea curses are called, well, sea curses, as the oceans themselves have had very little to do with the story and really only add to the gameplay. But some of Poseidon's dialogue in the Temple of Awakening made me think, what if, during the humans' invasion of Mount Olympus, where they forced the gods to make the sea curses, Poseidon was the one who flooded the earth in order to keep them from humanity? The oceans really did seem to come out of nowhere in the series, and it said that Olympus used to be in the War Seas, so it kinda makes sense. Not to mention, it is very in character for Poseidon to flood things, since he is the god of the ocean. But that's just an explanation for why the game is ocean-based. It doesn't really explain the Order's true goals. We know that it involves capturing those of a specific blood type, that either they're super magical or they have the ability to use sea curses, as shown by Morden and the player. However, once again, based on Poseidon's dialogue here, he really seems to be implying that the player is of godly origin. Combined with the fact that King Calvus didn't really elaborate when he talked about people of their blood, and the fact that Poseidon says to like do better than them, do better than us, it kind of makes it sound like he's talking about them when he's also talking about the gods, which is very interesting. I don't think the player is actually a god, that would be ridiculous, but I wonder if they have some sort of god-related origin. Whatever it ends up being, I'm not going to pretend to know. There is, however, a loose end from Arcane Adventures that I would like to see explored in Odyssey, and I think with the rules of this world established, it could receive an explanation. In Arcane Adventures, and as previously talked about on this channel, the main bad guy is a mage named Durza, who possessed the power of the Absorption Curse and used it to be a menace to the Seven Seas. According to the lore, he was defeated just 1 month prior to the events of Odyssey, and as established in this game, when a curse user dies, their curse shoots out of their body and lands somewhere, unless it's absorbed by a Devourer blade. But Durza wasn't stabbed with one, he killed himself, meaning his curse is still out there, and possibly with all the magic he stole. Could the Order come in contact with Durza's curse, and could this possibly be their ultimate goal? Probably not. Calvus says the curse hunting thing was more of only his doing to make Ravenna stronger, but it does certainly make you wonder what happened to the Absorption Curse. But anyways, that's all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.